X-Play, the center of the gaming universe.
Today on X-Play, we review Dynasty Warrior 6, the latest chapter in the epic button-mashing series. And we preview Battlefield Bad Company, the explosive shooter that looks to reinvent the legendary franchise. Plus, an all-access look into the life of a one-man gaming studio. We've got the indie game that stole the show at GDC. Brace yourself, it's game time!
Welcome to X-Play, the show that is loved by super delegates everywhere. Oh man, I am Morgan Webb, this is Adam Sessler.
Yes, obviously we're playing Bully for the Wii. This is one of the mini games that's new to the game, and this is actually a lot of fun. I'm enjoying this.
Haha.
So I really want to point out that when I was in high school, we didn't have a chem class like this. We only had books, and they told us to take them at their word that this stuff would actually happen in chemistry.
I am wondering what they're doing. They're just kind of adding things to pictures and stirring other things. Oh, I missed the sabotage. I'm too busy explaining myself to sabotage you.
All right, now I guess we should explain what's on the show. So we're going to be reviewing Dynasty Warriors 8. That promises some big changes, and they damn well better deliver.
Plus, we have a preview of Battlefield Bad Company, which I hear has destructible environments and gunplay. And for more warfare, we've got a preview of Battlefield Heroes. But first, let's go over to Kristen Holt, who has all of today's top stories in our gaming update.
Morgan. Take-Two Interactive wants to remain independent. This new information was revealed during an interview with Take-Two's executive chairman Strauss Zelnick. In response to questioning regarding Take-Two's rejection of Electronic Arts' $2 billion takeover bid, Zelnick noted that he is proud of the progress Zelnick Media has made in the 10 months that they've been at Take-Two. Zelnick also added that he and his firm think Take-Two has a really bright future as an independent company. X-Play has learned exclusive new details that Darren McFadden will be the cover athlete of EA Sports NCAA Football 2009. While the game will be released on 5 different platforms later this year, the Arkansas running back will tackle the cover of the Xbox 360 version of the game. Be sure to tune into X-Play tomorrow when Darren McFadden joins us live in the studio to discuss all things Pigskin and Polygon. And finally, we have good news for Australian Wii owners. A new Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock double pack will be hitting store shelves down under exclusively. The pack includes not 1, but 2 guitars, along with the newly remastered version of the game. During last year's holiday season, it was discovered that due to an error in manufacturing, the Australian version of Guitar Hero 3 for the Wii was outputting sound in mono. This new bundle will also make it cheaper to play multiplayer. That's all for today's gaming update. Be sure to visit us on the web at g4tv.com/xplay to continue getting all of today's up-to-the-minute video game news. But now let's go to Morgan, who has our latest harsh judgment.
Thanks, Kristen. Who needs complex control?
So I called it Dynasty Warriors 8 earlier. Well, obviously it's actually 6, though I think it gives a good indication of what we can expect when Dynasty Warriors 8 is released. Anyway, it looks like Koei's done it again, and not in a good way. We happen to actually have some footage of a Koei development meeting that could shed some light on the recent output. Take a look.
No one has any ideas? None? Koei is the company that made Dynasty Warriors 6, Samurai Warriors 2, and Samurai Warriors 2 Extreme Legends. We have standards! How are we going to go into the next year fresh, innovative, and successful?
Sir, I believe my...
Shut up! I love it.
Coming up on X-Play, we've got the latest on Ninja Gaiden Black, Fable, and N+ in the download from Xbox Live Arcade. Then get ready to level some buildings in Battlefield Bad Company. Plus, War gets a cartoony treatment in Battlefield Heroes, and we've got a preview. Stay tuned.
Get your career cooking.
Welcome back to X-Play. Now, some of you may know Bad Company is an English supergroup from the 70s, so logic would hold that you might think that Battlefield Bad Company is about aging rockers heading into a war zone, but you would be wrong. See what's in store in our preview. Let's face it, it's hard making a first-person shooter seem fresh these days. It feels like we've played through every possible skirmish, melee, and combat area.
Warning! You're leaving the combat area!
But the developers behind the long-running Battlefield series have a brand new installment for you, and this one has enough new elements to pique our interest. We went straight to senior producer Carl Magnus Troedsen to get the full story.
The story in Battlefield Bad Company is about, you play a character called Preston Marlowe. He's the new guy being placed in a squad in B Company, which is being bastardized into Bad Company because this is where the army puts all of their rejects.
Developers spend a lot of time focusing on the single-player experience, a first for the Battlefield franchise.
You see a vehicle, you can take it. If you see a helicopter fly somewhere, you can do that. And it's all up to you as a player to use your imagination.
If the visuals look even better than usual, don't be surprised. This is the first game in the series built from the ground up for next-gen home consoles, specifically the PS3 and 360. And the new graphics engine allowed developers to add an important twist: fully destructible environments.
The cool part about the Frostbite game engine is that it enables us to have so much destruction in the world. So now we can take down trees, vegetation, there's actually demolition on the ground, so you make craters with the big weapons, all the walls. This is what we like to call tactical destruction, because it will change how you play shooters.
It looks like a lot of fun to us, and despite the emphasis on single player, online fans will still find plenty to love.
All the other good parts that made Battlefield famous are there as well, you know, the huge abundances of vehicles, land, air, sea, all of it, and the freedom to do whatever you want. And then there's the actual game mode has a thematic connection to the single player as well.
There's no exact release date yet, but we'll have our full review for you when Battlefield Bad Company hits PS3 and Xbox 360 later this year.
Battlefield with the story. What's next? Final Fantasy with fun gameplay? As much as we'd all like a full arcade in our house, they're sadly very expensive. Takes up a lot of room, and sometimes they smell like cotton candy bar. Fortunately, there's Xbox Live Arcade. Not only do you get the old classics, but there's some new titles available too. Here's a look at the latest content in today's download. It's time for the latest downloads to hit the Xbox 360.
Off playing games, are you?
Ninjas never fight the things they are intended to, like, well, other ninjas. Case in point, N+, a stylized puzzle action platformer that pits your ninja against robots from the future. With 300 boards plus a level editor, it's definitely worth wasting points and time on. Poker Smash combines everything you love about poker with everything you love about puzzle games. So, why is it called Poker Smash then? Because it's smashing the conventions of poker. A download or two from Xbox Originals might also help you get ready for some big sequels due out this year. The Xbox classic Ninja Gaiden Black is as solid an action game as you're likely to find. And with the new installment stealthily making its way to the 360, the time couldn't be better to revisit it. You're good, you're bad. You're good, you're bad.
What's that for?
You're good,
I knew you were going to bring me chocolates.
you're bad.
It's Fable.
If you didn't get to play it the first time around, get to it now because Fable 2 is on its way, and if you wait until then to play the first Fable, you're gonna feel like a tool. There you have it. 4 titles that ought to keep you busy and away from exercise and sunlight like God intended. So are you like Morgan to me? You were just thinking to yourself, hey, I wonder what the top-selling shooters are right now.
You weren't? Well, Toph, we're about to tell you in today's X-Play.
Number 5 is Call of Duty 4. With the new patch, they've added some very entertaining kill cams on grenades and airstrikes. But if you're a real man, you play Team Hardcore and it doesn't matter.
Number 4 is Turning Point Fall of Liberty, the game that explores a timeline where the greatest generation is renamed the, oh great, thanks for letting the Nazis invade America generation. Number 3 is Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Vegas 2. Well, you get to shoot a lot of tangos. Unfortunately, there really is no dancing.
Number 2 is Frontline's Fuel of War, which is the completely ludicrous scenario of a war based on oil.
Weird.
And at number 1 is Army of Two. I haven't seen this much excellent tag team action since Hulk Hogan and Mr. T took on Rowdy Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful at the first WrestleMania. Memories.
When X-Play returns, we have a preview of Battlefield Heroes. Plus, we have an all-access pass to check out a one-man indie game studio.
But first, let's take a look at who's rocking this week's X-Play Gamer Challenge. Here are the current leaders in Mr. Shark's epic Sarcathlon.
The iPhone has a Chinese imposter. The beat starts in 60 seconds. Hey guys, I'm Layla Kaylee. There's one product at CeBIT 2008 that's causing visitors to stop and stare. It's the Meizu Mini 1, a dead ringer for the iPhone. The display sample was such a direct knockoff, the police shut down the booth for piracy. In real Apple news, Steve Jobs declared that the Adobe Flash Player isn't good enough for the iPhone because it runs too slowly, really. Alright, in other news, the Air Force has bought 300 PlayStation 3s because their research lab is conducting a technology assessment of certain cell processors. The ones in the PS3 are the only brand on the market that has the specific cell processor characteristics needed for their tests at a reasonable cost. What's up to all the troops out there? Get more of the news you need at g4tv.com/thefeed. I'm Layla Kaylee, and you've just been fed.
Do you have the status of the Sam & Max Season 1 game that's being ported over to the Wii?
Welcome back to X-Play, and thank you for the question, Jeremy. Sam & Max, it does make sense that it would go to the Wii because it's an adventure game and the point-and-click stuff.
Right, well, we contacted Telltale Games, and they said, quote, we keep hearing from fans how much they want Sam & Max for the Wii. It's something we are working on, and we're getting pretty close. End quote. Pretty close.
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
close.
And these are the guys that developed CSI, another point-and-click adventure, and they did get that on the Wii, so they clearly have the technology and the tools and all that stuff for it.
Right, and hopefully they'll have some new episodic content for the Wii launch, and I'm guessing that they will.
Yes, I'm hoping so.
All right, are you tired of paying for your games? Well, for PC owners, those days may be over thanks to EA's new Play for Free model. The first no-cost title out of the gate is the cartoon-themed Battlefield Heroes, and here is a preview.
I still remember that day. Something changed within me and my buddies that day. We became tougher. We became men. We became heroes.
Sorry about that. Wrong trailer.
No, you aren't watching a lost episode of Benny Hill. This is a newly released trailer for EA's latest spin-off, Battlefield Heroes. Unlike earlier installments in the franchise, this one is a cartoony shooter that's free to play. Senior producer Ben Cousins explains all.
We didn't want to put out another realistic graphics Battlefield game into the marketplace. We thought that would kind of confuse people a little bit, and the team thought it would be a really fun thing to do. And the alternative would be like another realistic, gritty World War II game, and I think we're all kind of fed up of those by now.
Yep, we're definitely with you on that one. Instead, the action in Battlefield Heroes isn't based on any real war or skirmish.
The setting is influenced by World War II and other conflicts of the 20th century. We've got like two factions in the game, which are kind of influenced by recognizable armies. We have the Royal Army versus the National Army.
And there's good news for those of you who are light in the wallet. You won't have to pay any monthly fee to play. In fact, you can download the game for free on the official website. However, certain in-game items like costumes and experience boosts will be available to buy with real-world money.
So let's say you and I are playing the game. You're playing the game like 24 hours over the weekend. Well, I've got like a wife and kids and I don't have time to play the game. What I can do is buy an experience points booster. So over the period of 2 days, maybe a weekend, I get double experience points. So I can catch up with you, but I'm still having to play the game.
Everything we've seen so far leads us to believe Battlefield Heroes will be a nice departure for World War II weary gamers. So when can you get your hands on it? Well, unfortunately, this baby still needs some more time in the oven. Tune into X-Play for our full review when this game hits your PCs.
EA selling experience. We're leaving you, but only for a moment. When X-Play comes back, we'll introduce you to James Silva, a one-man show who was able to create his own Xbox 360 game using XNA, Microsoft's development software. But first, take a crack at today's trivia question. No cheating.
Who composed the Call of Duty 4 soundtrack? Was it A, Jesper Kidd, B, Stephen Barton, or C, Jeremy Soule? We'll have the answer right after the break.
Warriors. Take G4 on the road. Download this show now as a G4 podcast.
Before the break, we asked you who composed the Call of Duty 4 soundtrack. The answer is B, Stephen Barton. He also composed music for the Chronicles of Narnia movies and Kingdom of Heaven.
Welcome back to X-Play. Microsoft's keynote at GDC was more than chainsaws. It had great news for indie developers. XNA, a toolkit allowing anyone to make 360 games, has made some big steps forward. With this program, garage designers can bring their homemade games to the Xbox community. James Silva took the stage to show off his game, The Dishwasher Dead Samurai. And we caught up with this one-man show to see how it's all done.
Microsoft's XNA community is set to grow exponentially in 2008. But for now, the master of the XNA universe is James Silva, creator of The Dishwasher Dead Samurai.
It's quite literally, and this sounds really cliche, but it's totally a dream come true. I mean, you know, ever since I was like 10, I've always dreamed of making video games, you know. And the coolest thing has been we're here at the Microsoft Lounge, and I've been watching people play my game all day. It's just it's surreal. It's amazing.
Fittingly enough, Silva came up with the idea for the violent menial laborer hack and slash while working as a dishwasher himself.
Dishwashers get no respect, and when I was a dishwasher, I just convinced myself that, you know, a video game where a dishwasher just goes crazy and kills a bunch of bad guys it's got to be the best idea for a game ever. A little bit of The Crow made it in there, and the game itself plays like a stylistic action platformer. Ninja Gaiden was definitely a big influence. That game is so hard.
As for advice to XNA newcomers, James suggests keeping it simple.
I would just say start kind of small. Don't set out to create a MMO or a first-person shooter or something. Just start with something that's maybe something that would have been impressive in the 80s, and just work on that, and you'll pull it off, and you'll be proud of yourself.
All right, we're sending this show to the glue factory, but we'll be back tomorrow with an all-new X-Play at 8. On our next show, we get reintroduced to Ethan Thomas in our preview of Condemned 2. I hear he's sober-ish.
Then we'll talk with Arkansas Razorback star Darren McFadden, who we just revealed to be on the cover of NCAA Football 09 for the Xbox 360. Plus, we'll go head-to-head to talk game ratings, what they really mean, what you should know about them, and why Metacritic is the one to rule them all.
Plus, we'll have an update on Mr. Shark's latest challenge, the Demented Halo 3 Triathlon. Demented really is appropriate.
People are getting amazing times,
I know.
though. It's shocking.
I couldn't have done that in an hour.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.